This is simple stuff. Isn't it simple? And you're kind of going, yeah, I sort of forget to do that, don't I? Right? It's easy stuff. Now, let me tell you a little story so that you understand. There was this yogi, and he was quite the famous yogi, and this man had walked hundreds of miles through the country to come and talk to him, and he said, you know, I've come here. I know that you are the most spiritual, divine being on the planet. And my question to you is this. What is the most important thing that you have learned on your journey? And the yogi says, attention. And the guy goes, okay, well, but I mean, can you expound on that a little bit? And he says, attention, attention. And he says, now listen, I've walked hundreds of miles to be here. This is all you can tell me? And the yogi says, attention, attention, attention. So, if anything's not working in your life, the truth is that you are not paying attention to what you're thinking about. I promise you, this is how life works. Whatever you are feeling, you create. It's not thinking, I want this. It's, for instance, if you think, I need more money, what's the feeling behind it? Lack, limitation. You know, dear God, I need this. Dear God, I need that. That is the feeling of lack. When you come from a feeling of abundance and gratitude, notice you cannot be in gratitude and lack at the same time. It is not possible. Okay? So, if you want to really add to that abundance oil that you're all going to try out today, try just feeling gratitude with it. You know, I mean, wear your gratitude. And I have people come to me who are alcoholics or, you know, ex-alcoholics or a recovering alcoholic. Okay, so, and all of them carry some fear. I may go back. You know, what if this just happens to me someday? And what I always say is, have you ever known someone who was really fully playing the alcoholic game who was grateful? Or are they being victims? Or even victims of themselves? Are they grateful? They go, oh no, nobody's grateful. I said, now, if you focus on gratitude all the time, and you just make it a habit, can you really go back to being an alcoholic? Because then you'd have to be a grateful alcoholic, and they don't exist, you know? So, okay, let me give you another thought here. Understand that these are all patterns in consciousness, so all you're doing is re-patterning your consciousness. So whatever you've been thinking, you know, when you have those thoughts about what's going on, what does it sound like in your head? Na na na, da da da, and he said this, and I said that, ba 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 ba, right? Isn't it going on all the time? It's just like, you know, you might as well just be on the little rat in the cage and just going around. And if you don't think that's what's going on, I mean, 95%, and you think 60,000 thoughts a day, 95% of what you think today, you will think tomorrow. And then you wonder, why isn't my life changing? Okay? So take a moment now just to think of some problem you have. Some place where you've got anger or resentment or things aren't working out the way that you want them to work. And everybody got something handled there, some thought of that. Now just take a moment and just tell yourself this. It's perfect. This is God's creation unfolding perfectly. And I don't need to try to figure it out. It is perfect. And just let that sink in. Let yourself feel that. Now, one of the things that we do, and most people do to some extent, is people have confused sacrifice with love. So, let me just read you this one thought. The sacrificer gives but does not receive. Love is naturally giving and receiving. Giving without receiving leads to burnout and deadness. Receiving leads to giving on a whole new level. So if you're doing sacrifice and thinking it's love, understand that it's just fear. All right. One of the other things he talks about is turning your dramas into happy, healing stories. Understand this, we all have our story. Do you know what I'm talking about? You know, your negative story, your drama, that kind of thing. We all have them. And you can give it up. Because this is what I discovered. If you are telling your story to somebody and do you all know what I mean by this? The negative, you know, I'm a victim, and okay. So, when you're telling your story, the only reason you listen to someone else tell their story is because you're either being polite or you're waiting your turn. Isn't that true? It's true. You don't really want to hear their story. You only care about your story. You're just going, okay, enough about you. Let me tell you my story, right? And you're already planning it out. You're going, okay, wait, I can outdo this. I got a better story than that one. Okay, let me tell you. So, you can give it up. You can give it up. If you want your life to start to flow, give up your story. Create it in a way that is healing, in a way that's funny. It doesn't matter, but you can retell your story. This is how I retold the story of a great disappointment in a love relationship. And this is how I rewrote it. And I actually then created it into a book and finally into a one-woman show called The Lovers. But I want to give you a little bit because you're going to see a little bit of yourself, but you notice how it's done with humor. So, it goes like this. I was making love with the man, and every cell in my being sang and danced in unison the song, "This is it. This is it, tra-la-la, tra-la-la. I've met my soul's companion, my eternal consort, yippee-skippy, true love at last. It took the universe long enough, but that's okay, there's only this moment anyway, tra-la-la, tra-la-la." The silent chorus. I don't know you well enough to know who thou truly art. I'll just project who I want you to be, and you do your best to play the part. As with any good myth, the man thought it was time to mention the other woman. He said their relationship was almost over because, among other things, she was quite young. Nothing illegal, but she had no memory of the Beatles, Gilligan's Island, the day we landed on the moon. Vietnam was totally out of the question. 2001, a date in the future. She didn't remember the mamas and the papas, Archie and Edith, but then again, Bill and Hillary didn't ring any bells either. And this was a little song that I wrote for the man. Who am I anyway? Am I my negligee? That is an outfit of a woman I don't know. What does he want from me? Who should I try to be? Mother Teresa or Marilyn Monroe? I need this man, oh God, I need him so. There's no dependency like codependency, like no dependency, I know. Every day I wake up with this feeling. I hope and pray that he will love me more. It's just that I'm afraid that I am dealing with that complex called Madonna whore. So if you want to do a little therapeutic work on yourself, write your life like a myth. Have fun with it because and you know what? I did this just for therapy. I was not writing a book, wasn't going to produce a show. This was just for me. And I found, now get this, if you're laughing, you cannot be in the drama and the humor at the same time. So all of a sudden, you're just laughing about this stuff. And the reason that you all laughed at me is because you've all done this. Right? Yes, you're going, oh, that is so familiar.